Right, it's time to head off to the main story. First, I'm going to just actually get some, this is the wrong car, isn't it? Yep. Get some CP back, and then we'll go.
What a
And stop
relief.
relaxing when a
How
tense situation. Okay. Heimdall Cathedral. What do you have for me? What do you have for me? Wait, what's that? All additional challenge elements will end. I think we've done everything but complete the character and battle notes, so let's go. We haven't had a chance to talk to Rosine or Thomas because they're in here.
So, you've arrived at last.
Are they going to be all we've come for?
Yes, it's good to see you all again. Please, come in. They're waiting for you just over there.
She said they. Who do we have? Oh, Tom. Oh, shit!
Glad you all finally made it.
Dude, he looks so cool!
The church has decided this issue now merits the attention of the Congregation for the Sacraments. As such, the Archbishop and all the staff here have been moved to another location.
Dude, this design is awesome for him.
Thank you for all your diligence, Rosine.
He really does remind me of Alba / Weissman. They have to have been friends.
I'd feel much better if you were to stand watch over the front door now.
Oh, his eyes are
just
open.
in case.
Yes, understood. Leave it to me.
Dude, Thomas is great. They've done such a good job with him.
Let me introduce you. This man is a member of the Gralsritter, a division of the Septian Church. He's the second in command, in fact. Thomas Lysander.
Does that make him, what is it, the second pillar?
He holds the seat of Second Dominion,
Second Dominion.
and is sometimes known by his title, the Partitioner.
Well, he's one of the actual, like, Gralsritter, I guess.
Now allow me to introduce you. This man is one of the Gralsritter's 12
Oh my
Dominion.
fucking god, he is! That's
the successor
incredible.
to the 8th Dominion. Gaius Warzone.
I don't remember an 8th Dominion that we knew about. What's his title now?
Yeah, a lot happened
That's
all at
so
once.
cool. That's so cool, man. What happened to
After
awaken him?
graduating from Thors, I returned to Nord and began observing the struggle between Erebonia and Calvert. However, I began to feel something dark and sinister carried on the winds of the plateaus. I consulted my father and the chief, and eventually my old teacher, Father Barkhorn, came to visit.
Barkhorn himself.
You
That's
might
who that
remember
was.
the name. He was the traveling priest we chased after during the Civil War. But
Yep.
it turns out, he was also
was the
the
eighth.
eighth
I thought he was
Dominion
the
of the
fifth.
Gralsritter.
No, that's Kevin.
With the title the Roaring Lion. He was an extremely skilled knight who investigated the Salt Pale in Northumbria and trained Brigadier General Bardius.
Yep.
Apparently, he
was
was
the one
worried
who did that.
and came to Nord to check up on me. He explained to me that what I had been sensing was called the Gale of Ruin. I'm not
Interesting.
sure why I'm able to sense it. Maybe it's because I'm a descendant of those who fought alongside the Lionheart Emperor. I mentioned this to him and he came to a realization, but then it happened. A Calvardian ship that broke past the 7th Armored Division attacked my village. My father
see.
was away at the time. I fought back in an attempt to protect my family, but it was no use. Right as I prepared myself for death, my teacher threw his huge body in the way to protect me.
And he transferred
And
it
as
somehow?
he lay there dying, he passed
Okay.
his stigma onto me. Across the nearly 1,000-year history of the Gralsritter, its highest-ranking members have each borne one of 12 sacred markings. This was one of those
That's so
markings.
cool. Also, Barkhorn dying off screen is sad, though. That guy could have been cool as hell. Well, it's, you know, confidential. does, I think, have a sort of Growlsritter uniform on. They all have this sort of design. No, Gaius has sort of taken a far higher position than nearly all of you.
Grandmother! Stop hiding! Come out already! You're the one who called us here in the first place, aren't you?
I only hid myself so as not to interrupt your discussion.
Okay, Rose, what do you have to say to us? That she is.
Indeed. But you may simply call me Rose. I had you all gather here for one reason.
Yeah, I have no idea what her pendant
To
is.
explain to you the background between the Hexen clan and the church.
Okay, more backstory, let's go.
It's not as though we don't believe in Adios. There have been some differences in opinion over the years, but we and the church have worked together on a number of occasions.
For example, during the War of the Lions, or the vampire incident in the Middle Ages.
Yep.
Not to mention the fight against the Dark Dragon 800 years ago.
But all that was just Rose sticking her nose into other people's business.
Yeah?
Legend has it, Emperor Dreikel's camp was once visited by a
She's the
good
one
witch.
that led Leanne to find
And
her.
the novel Red Moon Rose
Nice.
features a vampire hunter affiliated with the church who was, in truth, the true ancestor of the vampires.
She's
The
just
woman
showing
you
her
now
fangs
see
and
before you
having
was
fun.
both of these people,
Okay.
even if she looks a bit different.
She's having so much fun.
800 or so.
Wait, that's
However,
the same time as
you
the
should
dragon.
know that my situation is somewhat unique.
Also,
All
how are you
other
a
witches
true
are normal
ancestor
humans.
that recently?
Except, of course, for the fact that they are all descendants of those who
Well, there
once
you go.
guarded the Septarian of
That's
Fire.
one side. The Septarian of Fire was the witches. It's not Mirage or anything. Of how they look. Now, what's the other fucking Septarian? Fire was the obvious one. Tell us what happened to it, though, yeah. Okay, they're gonna give us some lore. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Spirit Veins calls the cryptids and such. From the higher planes, probably one of the 3 realms that mentioned the Growlsritter notebook. Yep. That's how she did it. Yep. Yep. All makes sense. Because the knights are back, they appear again. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, they need the original Mirage. It's Earth! There you go! It's not time after all. They're keeping time to themselves. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. My theory has always been that we are actually watching the events of the series through the Time Septarian as the observer. Primarily due to a couple of scenes in Sky, but who knows. Of Earth, yes. The Holy Beasts are finally being mentioned. Also, hold on. Okay, so that means the gnomes are like a family? Yep. One vanished alongside the Septarian. And what about the other? What type of beast was it, though? Wait, what? Each of them. Sorry, I didn't read that properly. Because it got merged? What happened? Some speculation still. Right, details,
In the
details,
beginning,
details.
This land housed 2 of the Septarian.
Cool, that does make 4 that we know of now. 3 remain.
The Arc Rouge, Septarian of fire
Rouge.
and wielder of fierce power. The Lost Zem, Septarian of earth and bearer of unyielding endurance.
Lost Zem? Like Lost Samoria? Is that?
Each assumed the form of a colossal guardian and went about granting boons and performing miracles for its people.
Yep. Similar to how
For
the
a
others
few
worked.
centuries,
They all
the
had a
land of
consciousness.
Erebonia prospered, but eventually, its people began to vie for power and control.
And they used
The
the 2
Septarians
Septarians
had
to fight.
always granted their people's wishes. But now, their peoples each wished for the other's destruction. And so, the 2 colossi began fighting. Their battle ravaged the earth and split the sky, devastating the entire region.
Cool.
The humans tried to stop them, but it was in vain. The Septarians' fight continued 1,000 days, scorching the land black.
What were their abilities is my biggest question. I'm so curious. Also, my question is if there are members in Ouroboros specifically assigned to each element, potentially. Like McBurn is, Campanella has potentially an assignment to all of them, you know, stuff like that.
When the battle ended at long last, it was a tie. Exhausting their power in one final strike, the 2 Septarian were blown away, left as nothing but empty shells.
And then they merged.
Yet the tale did not end there.
The power expelled by each Septarian collided
Yep.
and became one, resulting in the creation of an entirely new entity. The Great One, the Septarian of Steel.
Haha. Septarian of Steel, Cold Steel, I see what you're doing.
It was an existence created from the union of fire and earth. It was beyond anything else in this realm.
So their goal was to split it.
It was the ultimate source of power. Though things seemed fine at first, the survivors of the war soon realized the eternal conflict within it.
So, I'm curious, if the gnomes... So, here's actually something, not quite related to exactly what's happening, but if it's the Septarian of Earth, what is the Reverie Corridor? How is that related to the Septarian of Earth's power? Because the gnomes are the ones who built it, right? Or did they create it as like a sort of trial to reach the Great One? Because the Great One's trial was at the end of it.
They knew this conflict would cause it to grow ever more unstable, and that it was not something that could be handled by mankind.
And by that I mean it was created post Septarian of Steel. Okay. Yeah, this makes sense.
With the Holy Beast's assistance, the Kins of Fire and
Well, here we
Earth
go, yeah.
joined together to see the Great One sealed away. However, each of their attempts ended in failure. Left with no other options, they resorted to their final plan.
Okay.
The Great One would remain whole in the higher plane, yet its physical incarnation in this world split into numerous
What
shards.
is the higher plane?
It was
Can we have
this
that
final
explained a bit?
gambit that saw disaster averted.
Indeed. Their combined efforts bore fruit.
Okay, so what's the curse on the land then? Is it the will of the great
The
power?
Kin of
or a
Earth
shard of it?
created 7 vessels, while the Kin of Fire split the Great One's power and infused each vessel with a part of it.
The 7 knights, yeah, and they've been destroyed one by one by one. In some sense, at least the wielders of the knights. So it looks like the gnomes are the engineers because of Earth. I guess there's a connection there.
7 dolls in the form of knights, each bearing the Great One's power. The Divine
And there's
Knights.
steel, yeah. So there's Vermilion, Azure, Ashen, probably Platinus, and Fuck, what was the other one? Auric in the back? No. Auric was gold. I don't remember what the other one was called. Yes, good question. Cool. So did that lead to the Great Collapse, right? They all happened similar times. Not every Oriole. Every Septarian's, like, failure happened at very similar times, leading to the Great Collapse. Okay, yep. We know about that from the book, though it wasn't exactly
900 years ago, Heimdall was a small city of only about 50,000 people. However, it was one of the burgeoning centers of culture for the region. The Septian Church had finished construction on the Heimdall Cathedral, and there were plans to develop the city even further. But it was then the Dark Dragon appeared, blanketing Heimdall in miasma and transforming it into a city of the dead.
Okay.
Emperor Astorius chose to lead his people south and made Saint-Art the new capital of Erebonia.
In helping Emperor Astorius deal with this crisis, the Hexen clan and gnomes each suffered substantial losses.
But how did it appear? Like, there's no context we've been given to this right now.
The Hexen clan lost its elder, and the gnomes their holy beast.
But I thought you said it disappeared alongside the Septarian.
And so ended their alliance. The final time they spoke would be a century later.
Okay.
It was when Emperor Hector awakened the Vermilion Knight to reclaim Heimdall from the Dark Dragon.
So we don't know what the holy beast of the gnomes was right now.
He did so at the urging of the chief of the gnomes and the new elder of the Hexen clan, myself. However, the Emperor fell to the Dark Dragon's miasma, and the Vermilion Knight to its curse. The Emperor's son had the chief of the gnomes and myself seal the cursed knight deep below the Imperial Palace.
Okay, and now it's in a different dimension
That would be
after
the
the
last
fight.
act our two clans performed together. I do not know why, but the gnomes cut off contact with our clan and hid themselves away. In the 800 years that followed, whenever war struck Erebonia, a divine knight would enter the stage, demonstrate its might, then vanish. I
Cool,
was
yep, that's
certain
about
the
right.
gnomes were involved, yet all we could do was guide awakeners on the proper course.
All's coming together. But then the War of the Lions happened, and then there were like 5 at once.
This unending pattern reached its most fevered peak 250 years ago during the War of the Lions. The false Emperor Orthros unearthed the cursed Vermilion Knight, and a mercenary under Prince Lucius employ
mercenary?
awakened the Palatinate
I mean,
Knight.
it does mirror Rutger, but which mercenary?
Prince Dreichels found the Ashen Knight,
Argent,
and
that's the
Leanne,
one.
the Argent Knight. The four awakened at once, made for a grand war indeed.
Uh-huh. And now we're gonna get all 7 at once. Okay. What art depictions? Your predecessor perished soon afterwards and you don't have many memories before that point. I see. Well, I guess she doesn't... Yeah, okay, she does know. She did die there. Okay, confirmed. She died against the Vermilion Knight. Okay. And then she came back. Interesting. Wait, he also came back. Oh no, Arsaid saw her come back. Okay. It was the gnomes who did it. Okay, sure. So 20 years ago she joined Ouroboros. Only 20. It's so random, right? Yeah, I mean, Osborne might be one of the immortals, though. Black Ulbric. The Great Twilight. You want... What's the Great Twilight meant to be in context, though? What's the aim? He wants to use the Septerran of Steel, maybe? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Ooh, that's a cool visual. I mean, they did surround Erebonia. This was potentially... This was definitely not part of Weissman's plan. It was part of the initial plan Weissman was sent for, but he was like, nah. I'll do my own thing and see if I can change the world, and he failed, unfortunately. Okay. Traveled along the spirit veins? It's Lumen, isn't it? Hey, it's George. Why would you even begin to immediately suspect George? Okay. What does it say?
When the sacrifice is made and the ancient blood flows, the path to the Graal of Erebos shall open.
The Grail of the Underworld. And the ancient blood, I guess... The Arnor blood, because that's the Guardian of Erebonia blood. Or Administrator, potentially, of Erebonia, similar to how the... What were they? The Ausleases? Their names were Auslease, right? Chloe and her mother.
When the tainted holy beast is pierced by the blade of World's End, and its blood fills the Graal, the great twilight shall fall upon the land.
The tainted holy beast and its blood... By the blade of World's End, and its blood fills the Graal, the great twilight shall fall upon the land. Tainted holy beast, that's not talking about the Dark Dragon. It did say that the area underneath the primal ground did disappear with it, so did it... Was it in the primal ground, the holy beast? And it got corrupted? And the Blade of World's End could be referring to Zemurian ore, because of the Great Collapse being due to the Zemurian civilizations. But the Graal, I don't know what that would be. The primal ground, yes. Wait, oh shit, okay. So the primal ground, the holy beast retreated in the primal ground because it got corrupted and it didn't want to... Okay. It teleported. Okay, a servant of the Holy Beast. I mean, this shows you how powerful the holy beasts really are if one's actually acting maliciously now. We're going into a primal ground as our final dungeon, that's cool as shit. And fighting a holy beast, that's cool as shit. Originator 0. Hold on, is that... So, there's a chance, though I don't know about this. When they were looking at Altina when she got possessed, could it relate to that?
Muse?
Oh, Muse?
Is
Yeah.
something the matter?
It's not a divergent warblade, is it?
You realize something?
Right now, we need any straw we can grasp at.
Anything
such
at
a
all could
good
help,
scene, by
no
the
matter
way.
how small.
Yes, you're right.
So many
That
answers.
term. Originator 0. Could that be OZ, perhaps?
Oz, right.
That's what the Black Workshop called Millium and Altina.
I fucking said it!
They're model numbers. OZ.
And the fucking robots they have can transform into
what are you
like blade-like
talking about?
shapes.
So you finally made it.
Vita's been watching as well.
Voice.
Vita! Ah, so the prodigal granddaughter returns.
Hello, Vita.
Misty, Vita.
I heard you had been acting on your own.
Nice to see you again, grandmother. Emma, Celine, and Class 7 too. And thank you for mediating, Mr. Lysander.
Oh, don't even mention it. It always breaks my heart to see a family torn apart so.
Shouldn't you want to kill her because she's an Anguis? Like, or was an Anguis? Like, do you not remember what was happening with Weissman and Kevin? Or was that just because he left the church?
Vita! Why? You really don't plan on ever coming back, do you?
I assumed you were teaming up for convenience, but you seem friendly to her.
That's correct. As I said before, my allegiance will forever lie with the Grandmaster. I can't return to you and grandmother. I can never go back to the way I used to be, just like the Steel Maiden.
Seriously, who even is this Grandmaster person?
She's the Grandmaster.
I have no clue. But it is clear she is quite taken with them. So do tell, Vita. If you have not decided to return to us, why show yourself now? Has Ouroboros finally decided upon its course of action?
Yes. After our experiments with the 3 ions,
You're saying, are you
the 6
back with
other
them?
Anguis came to a unanimous decision.
Or do you mean the previous experiment?
They decided to ignore my warning. They will work with the Chancellor and the Gnomes to bring about the Great Twilight, completing the Phantasmal Blaze
They
plan.
intend... Oh, okay.
That's...
So that's how it is. The reason Ouroboros was so quiet the past month wasn't because they left Erebonia.
It's because they're letting everyone else
Was to
deal with
carry
it.
out their plan and determine whether they should work alongside enemies and traitors.
How can that be? If that were the case, it means...
They're all our enemies?
Yes. You were literally surrounded by enemies.
Is this?
It's not the cathedral's bell.
It's the Crossbell Bell.
I think I recognize it from Crossbell.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
do?
Yeah, I'm sure of it. I remember hearing it right before the incidents in Crossbell, when we were still independent. Oh, the one from the museum!
The
Yep.
bell from Stargazer's tower?
But the sound's coming from a different direction than the museum.
The Phantasmal Blaze Plan. What a fitting name. I wonder how much of this she foresaw.
The Grandmaster?
That is quite enough mumbling to yourself. If you know what is going on, show us!
Or potentially she's talking about Demiurgus, because I'm still, you know... I believe Demiurgus has a bigger part
It'll
to
be
play
a
than
bit
having
tough
deleted
without
herself.
Grianos. I'll need your help, grandmother.
In fact, I believe she may be the Grandmaster.
Emma, Celine, you too.
Yes! Ugh, I'm not your slave.
What are we about to see? I can't believe Brianna's actually just dead, though. That's hilarious. What the fuck is that? Oh, it's Corel. Uh-oh. They took it to Corel, huh? Oh, that was the different air that he felt. Hey, look, it's Campanella and the Stahlritter. Campanella has a fondness for these bells, huh? And the remains of the Vermilion Knight. Oh boy, are we fighting it again? Or is it for Shirley? No. They're all here together. Also, was that a body that he was carrying? Lecter? Shit, it's literally everyone! It's all Tina, no. It's literally every this is like the fucking moment in Azure where it's like, look at the actual scale of what's against you. You're fucked. That is a person with bluish hair. But it seems to be the same style as Lumen. Having fun, Campanella?
Now then, let's say we celebrate the continuation of the Phantasmal Blaze plan by ringing in the Great Twilight.
So why did Osborn say he stole it?
Enforcer number 0, the Fool, shall play the opening note.
We're going down. 500 arch down, okay. There's an area down here too. This is where the primal ground is. There it is. What is that? What the fuck is that? It's like a wolf dragon. That's the previous sacred beast is what it is, though. Holy beast, sorry. What the fuck? Okay. It's transforming the villa. What's happening with it? Okay. Cedric's certainly shocked. Holy fuck, what is that? That's an egg. Okay. That looks so similar in like concept to the Azure tree to me.
Huh. Sure is something.
So they were all playing
How
us,
about
right?
that?
When they were fighting, they were just
So,
trying to get us
The
involved.
beginning of the end, is it?
Deja vu.
The Grawl of Erebos. Just as the Black Records foretold.
Uh-huh.
The crypt where the great power will be reborn.
Rean. Uses.
Couldn't have guessed this
Wait,
is
hold
how my
on.
day would turn out when I woke up this
No, I
morning.
don't think you could have.
Let us begin.
So they're gonna use Altina
is
to
time.
kill it?
Chief
They're not
of
gonna
the
use Altina.
gnomes and head of the workshop, show me the way.
It's gonna be Milliam. They're gonna fucking play a trick on us with how Milliam called us. Is it Lumen? Yeah, it's Lumen. Of the Black Demise.
As you wish, my lord.
Calling him your lord, okay. Interesting. George? Who's that? Campanella's talking to... This is an interaction I never expected in the history of this series last game. It's incredible. And the Shalrita will hold the path. Alongside the Red, Constellation, and Zephyr. I wonder what Sigmund is up to, man. Yeah, we've lost, haven't we? Like, we're gonna fight our way in, but we are not going to stop this. I'm excited as fuck, though. That's a cool looking dungeon.
Rufus. Millium.
Oh, he's angry at his brother.
Was that Allie?
Yes. But why?
This cutscene, by the way, is like 40 minutes long so far. This is
Zeno,
great.
and Leo.
Azure Siegfried.
Just saying all their names.
And that guy in the lab coat. Isn't that...
The Blazing Demon and the Fool were there as well.
I love it. They have to name all of them.
So that's the maiden.
Anyone going to
Why?
mention the Stalwarter?
We just spoke this morning and...
She's an Ouroboros member.
What's going on?
Wait. Wait, hold on. No. No. No, you did not. No, you did not. There's no fucking way. Oh my fucking god. Okay. His name is Franz Lumen. Her father's initial surname was Lumen. It wasn't. Oh my god. It's her father. What do you mean, dude? She said she serves the right family first and foremost, and that's why Irina's a bitch. Oh! She's working for Lumen. Oh my god! Holy shit! There's no way they just did that. That's not what they just did, right?
Lisa.
That man's name was Lumen or something like that, right? His hair looked different.
That's not her father.
Franz
Oh!
Lumen. The first disciple of G. Schmidt, and the deceased husband of the Reinford Group's chairman.
Okay, it's not her actual father. It is her father having been revived like everyone else.
Also known as Franz Reinford.
Right? It's not actually just Reinford?
Ah. So he has been lurking in the shadows these past 20 years.
That's incredible.
Yes. Perhaps for the sake of working with the Chancellor to engineer
That's
this very
incredible.
moment.
I had to stand up. Holy fuck. They've done some shit today. Okay.
Elisa.
Snap
Okay.
out of it. Now's not the time.
Now is very much the time. That's not something you find out and snap out
As a
of.
bracer, I can't just sit here and let them pull off whatever that Twilight crap is they're planning. How about all of you?
She's right. We can't stop here.
We gathered together to do whatever we could to help. Our goal remains unchanged.
Yep, true.
Well,
Lisa,
off we go, I guess.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You going to help
Well,
us?
Vita, what will you do now?
Well, I'd like to charge in there alongside the rest of you, mostly out of spite.
Because they snubbed you.
Unfortunately, I suspect things won't be quite that easy.
What do you...
Huh?
Something's...
There's a turbulent swirl in the mana.
What's happening now? The dragon's back?
Was that?
I believe so.
So that's what everyone else will be
Lysander, Sir
doing.
Gaius, cryptids and magic knights have appeared all over the city.
Okay, never mind. This is what's happening. We're saving. Okay, look. That was incredible, but it was long. We're gonna end the episode here while I process and recover, and then we're gonna come back in like whenever I come back. Okay, see you then. Holy shit.